Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ni hao ma, howdy. Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Professor Brian David Phillips, and we're going to delve into something very new today. Brand new. In fact, just released. Claude Sonnet 3. Claude 3 Sonnet. Now, usually when I talk about AI chatbots, I discuss ChatGPT, of which the current and most recent model is ChatGPT 4.0 or 4.0 Opus. Today we're going to look at Claude 3 Sonnet, brand new. Sonnet is the free level, but it's more advanced than the other Claude 3 models because this is Claude 3.5 Sonnet, literally just released a couple days ago. And we're going to look at how well it makes infographics. That is, it takes information and puts it into one of those really cool graphics with all the information in a way that's easy for folks to digest. So let's get to it. Let's pop in my little friend here. Oh, my little friend. Hello, little friend. He's here because we're going to the web. And this is the Claude interface. Good afternoon, Brian. You're an incredibly handsome person. It doesn't say all of that, but I added in my head. So I want to head on over to my web page. Many of you here are familiar with my website. This is briandavidphillips.net. And this is the About page in which I have a summary of a paper that looks at the efficacy of hypnosis. I am a hypnotherapist. I am a hypnosis trainer. I have trained many, many people to become practicing hypnotherapists all over the world. We've traveled all over the place. Haven't done that in a while. Pandemic years have been, well, there's a thing, and other issues. But I've got this section of this comparison between psychoanalysis, behavioral therapy, and hypnotherapy. What I want to do is I want to turn that into a handy dandy infographic. So I copy this text, that's why it's highlighted here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head on over into Claude and ask Claude to please, hello Claude, we're back to you. You're so pretty today. So I'll ask it, could you please create an interactive infographic for the following? And please show recovery rate and number of sessions in side-by-side bars. Now, I want to do that because sometimes it does weird things and omits that. So I copy the text from the place I had that. So we've got all this. And essentially, I just click on that little arrow going up to enter it. Now, something really cool is about to happen. Hello, certainly I'll create that for you. Generating. Notice all of a sudden, we've got another panel opening up. This is the artifact screen. Claude 3 Sonnet is the only one that does this. And it's pretty cool. So it can write code for you. In fact, some folks have written HTML and JavaScript games or had the interface do it. All right, so we have preview and code. So I can look at the code, I can look at the preview, and then I can see what it does for me. So therapy effectiveness comparison. We see on one side we've got the number of sessions, or I'm sorry, the percentage of people who are helped, and the other side in green. So in blue is the percentage of people helped, and green is the number of sessions it takes. And when we interactively click over, we see the numbers straight up. So psychoanalysis, the recovery rate is 38% of people who go to a psychologist will get better. Okay, so they are effectively helped after 600 sessions. So yay them. Behavioral therapy, 72% after 22 sessions. And hypnotherapy helps 93% of the people who go to a hypnotherapist, a competent, trained hypnotherapist. After 6 sessions, they are helped. And then we have the source and everything like that. Now, I can take this even further. It's already perfect. I just copy the code and I can use it wherever I need it. I'm going to say something. This is going to look weird. So please make it prettier. That's a stupid thing to say, but hey, what happens when I do that? It generates a new variation. Booyah. I can also ask to change the colors, do all sorts of things, and this is the prettier version. Okay. I honestly don't think it's that much prettier, but hey, okay then. I can always go back up and use the original version. So there's that. Okay. But that is one way to make an infographic. I can copy that and go away. Now, as many of you know, in addition to be a incredibly handsome hypnotherapist, I am also a professor at university. I teach in an English department in Taiwan at an elite university. And I do a lot of studies on language teaching and language learning, in addition to my specialization of interactive drama and comparative literature. But what if, oh happy day, I wanted to take a PDF of a study. Now I can upload this. If you are on the paid version, you can have more of a context window, but if you're using the free version of Claude 3.5 Sonnet, you're limited on how far. So I'm going to go to a PDF, and I'm just going to copy the results, and I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to ask Claude to please. I'm not going to, because this is a demo, I'm just going to stick in the same chat window. So I'm not going to open a new conversation. Normally you probably would do that, but I'll just say, could you please create an interactive infographic for the following from a paper? Okay, and I click on that, and I have my copy of the discussion section of the paper, and I just paste that in. A file has been added, and then I click on the happy dude here, and certainly I'll create it, and it generates the code. There we go. Now this is a piece on a paper that I read on using game-based learning in English as a foreign language teaching. I do that a lot. I do a lot of research on this topic. I use game-based things. So this is on the benefits of using game-based learning. So for anxiety reduction, you can see traditional learning is 60% for motivation, 85% for game-based. Anxiety reduction is traditional is 40. Vocabulary skills. You can see adding games to language learning increases efficacy across the board. That's pretty cool, guys. And it works. All right, so we see some icons, traditional learning, game-based learning, and we can fiddle around as much as we like and get some pretty cool things. Obviously, three things you've learned today. Hypnotherapy is definitely better than other forms of therapy, and using games in language learning increases the efficacy quite a bit, and you can make some really cool infographics with Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Okay, ChatGPT can't do that interactively. It can try to generate code, but you'll then have to do it somewhere else. It doesn't have that really cool artifacts panel, which I think is awesome. It's also Claude 3.5 Sonnet is currently #1 when it comes to coding, to building HTML pages, to building JavaScript pages, to working with coding. And a lot of other things it's better. One thing I did notice when I asked to build a non-interactive infographic, it'll still do it. Great, fine. But if I wanted to turn that into a JPEG or a GIF or an image file, Claude 3.5 Sonnet tells me, well, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot do that. Whereas ChatGPT 4.0 Omni can build graphics. So there's that. Some strengths, some weaknesses, but overall, I think it's pretty cool stuff. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please be sure to clicky, likey, subscribe, and do all that other really cool stuff that people do when they want to check back and see what other videos the fat man in a white shirt does. As many of you know, I mentioned before, I am a hypnotherapist, also an associate professor at Guoli Zhengshi Dashi, and I participate in a number of research projects looking at the use of artificial intelligence in education. And I hope you found this interesting and helpful. Please click all the right buttons so that you can come back when we have new videos. We do have videos, not a regular schedule, but once in a while. But for now, this is Professor Brian David Phillips just saying, have a happy day and live trans and prosper. Bye-bye.
Artificial intelligence dawns at this digital dawn. AI's on the rise, helping us see with new bright eyes, solving problems, making things clear, bringing the future ever near. AI, lighting up our way, let's build a brighter day. Smart and kind, it stands by our side. Together we thrive with AI as our guide, as we navigate this strange new world.